chingo tenderera nyangwe mupfungwa dzangu ndiwe unongokwidza nekudzika wazondichinja zita kubva muukomana iko zvino ndave murume pane vamwe varume ndichakuvimbisa rudo tokupa mazirudo samara inini ndapera ropo ini handikwanise kurarama kana iwewe usipo ini handikwanise kurarama kana iwewe usipo ini handikwanise kurarama kana iwewe usipo andiwe baby rangu uri pamoyo wangu yende ndokudusisa andiwe baby rangu uri pamoyo wangu yende ndokudusisa nekuti uri chiedza chinondivhenekera tirimo murudo uri chiedza chinondivhenekera tirimo murudo uri chiedza baby ini handikwanise kurarama kana iwewe usipo ini handikwanise kurarama kana iwewe usipo andiwe baby rangu uri pamoyo wangu yende ndokudisisa andiwe baby rangu uri pamoyo wangu yende ndokudisisa
Wow. Beautiful. Hello and welcome to The Couch on Zimpaper's television network. This football show comes to you every Tuesday. And today opening the show for us was Fusion 5 Mangbiro. My name is Shamisha Sweka and with me today is Howard Musonza.
Yes, it's good to be back right here on your favorite football show with another very interesting topic which we hope will keep you on the edge. Please follow us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Zimpaper's television network. On YouTube, we are simply ZTN, and our website is ztn.co.zw.
And of course, the Couch Squad is complete. We have Marco and Mo. Welcome.
It's good to be here, Charmaine. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you, Shasha.
For a moment, I thought these guys were singing about you, because the way you were smiling, I was
I love these guys so much. They are my favorite. Anyway, how was your Easter?
No, it was all right. Same old things. Chilled at home. Doing our research so that when we come here, we are different from the other people who talk about football in this country. Yeah, that's why.
My Easter was definitely better than yours. That much I know.
He's so convinced what was happening.
I can't get into the details.
Well, remember, guys, we also have Fusion 5 in the building. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
It's good to have you. How have you been?
Yeah, we've been good. We've been doing the best that we can and trying to bring out the best.
Amazing song there.
It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, we've 2019 was hectic for everyone.
Yeah.
COVID-19 pandemic. How have you guys been managing as a group?
2019 in the music industry is just a year that brought a change to the artist, but at the same time, as Fusion 5, we took it as time to rearrange everything, and to put our house in order, making more music. Yeah, and I think right now we're good to go. Yeah.
So what have you been up to? You know, I know Kuti, you guys didn't have shows, you couldn't go on tours, no performances.
Yeah.
So how have you been, you know, surviving?
Yeah. COVID gave us another way, like how to make mahustles. No get us a tour of Amazon.
Yes.
But at the same time, we stick to music. So yeah, we think we manage well. So yeah.
Yeah, so when was the last time you guys actually went on a stage and performed?
Yeah. On the actual stage, I remember it was November. Last year, November, for the Miss Use It at Nash TV, right? Yeah. November last year.
Well, we'll be talking more about, you know, everything, catching up, your fashion sense, awards and everything. Yes, but I'm so happy you guys are here.
Thank you so much for having us here.
Well, you are watching The Couch on ZTN. Please stay with us.
You're watching The Culture right here on Z-Papers TV network, and this in many ways is an interesting time for Zimbabwean football. We recently qualified for the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations finals, set to be held in Cameroon in 2022. This becomes the 5th time the Warriors have done so, and in all cases we failed to progress from the group stages. So we are saying, after a 5th Africa Cup of Nations qualification, are the Warriors ready to bring the trophy home? That's what we are talking about today.
Yes, can the Warriors change the script this time around? What should be done to change the results? How should it be done? What mistakes were made in the past? And has the country learned anything from it? Well, give us your feedback on our social media platforms. But before we go deep into that, we give you PSL preseason updates.
Well, before we talk about what's happening on the local scene, let's go to the UEFA Champions League. It's going to be a big night today with Real Madrid facing Liverpool in the first leg of their quarterfinals. Now, the big question is, will Liverpool finally get their revenge tonight? That's I'll be putting this question to you. But there's also another match, Manchester City taking on Borussia Dortmund, which is another potentially explosive game. 2 massive games that we've got tonight.
Yeah, and then you've got the interesting angle where if you're going to listen to what people say, Mo Salah should be headed to Real Madrid and Haaland should be heading to Manchester City. So these are guys who are probably playing for their contracts. Can Liverpool get a revenge on Real Madrid? I don't know. I mean, look, Liverpool haven't been playing so well. But Real Madrid at home in the Champions League, and with the confidence that they have with the way Atletico have been failing to fire, now they even believe that they can win the Champions League as well as La Liga. So, I mean, they should be high on confidence.
I want to believe Real Madrid and Liverpool, that's a tough one. Both teams have not been playing very well. Madrid, as far as I'm concerned, is struggling in La Liga. And Liverpool, I think they've... I can't talk about the weekend game because that's the only time they played. As Arsenal, we just let them win. But yeah, they've also been struggling. I think the loss of Virgil van Dijk and actually the loss of form, they are not playing so well. So this match, at best, maybe it's a draw. Then if you look at Dortmund and BVB and Man City, City is at the height of their performances at the moment, and I expect City to win against Dortmund.
Hey, you
teams
and then we get the look of Arteta after that game. It was the look of a coach who let these guys win. And
yes,
he's a guy who was hurt because he was looking like a zombie.
Well, what was he hurt about? That guy doesn't know what to do.
We'll come to you more. Let's go local. So Rangers were the first team to lead the Premier Soccer League team's pre-season, and now it looks like more than half of the teams have sorted out most of the contractual issues. Apart from Rangers, Black Runners have also told ZTN they have a full squad in place. ZPC Kariba have also since confirmed that they've signed contracts with new players after losing more than 20 since the lockdown started. Dynamos have been able to fill in the few spots they have and could be the first team, along with Highlanders, to parade their stars in a competitive game on Independence Day. So FC Platinum have also tied up contract issues with Ngezi Platinum as well. So this is what's happening on the local tip. We're excited. I think it's about to start.
Yeah, man, we've been waiting for it for a long time. Then it would be good to hear that Highlanders are putting also things in place. Because if everything is to be said and done, you need your big boys to be firing. Yes, you can have FC Platinum having their house in order and get the Platinum. But unless Highlanders, Dynamos, and to some extent Caps United are spot on with the things that they do, that excitement will not be there. Look, more.
No.
Before
But
you
FC
cut
Platinum is a big gun. I don't see what he's talking.
When we talk of big teams, this is stuff that you don't know anything about. Because you never, at one point, the closest you came to a big team was Caps FC, but because of the Caps.
I didn't play for big teams because I didn't want, not because I could.
Which big teams wanted you?
All big teams wanted me. All big teams wanted me.
What's your idea of a big team?
A big team.
Yeah.
In Zim, we are talking about Dynamos. Yeah. They've got the numbers. They've got sponsors.
What's your idea of a big team?
Then there's Islanders. Then there's Caps. Then there's FC Platinum. You cannot discount them from big teams. They've won three championships out of 4.
Team. They're not a big team.
They are a big team. If I,
you all right. On the 25th of March, the Zimbabwe Warriors beat Botswana to secure a place at the Africa Cup of Nations finals in 2022. However, the excitement cannot be matched with that of the class of 2004 when the Warriors first qualified. The debate now is, can the Warriors offer something new, something better? So today we are saying, a fifth Afcon qualification, or is a fifth Afcon qualification that the Warriors got, is it probably a signal that they are ready to bring the trophy home? I think this is where we are focusing on today, Shamaine.
Yes, and football cannot be football without the fans. Our reporter Lance Chihande was on the streets of Harare to find out what the Warriors supporters think.
Zimbabwe is an expectant nation. 5 times the Warriors have qualified for the African Cup of Nations, but the 4 times they have failed to surpass the first round. Today in Harare, we walk around asking people what are their expectations ahead of the 2021 Afcon qualifiers. All right, so the Warriors have been failing to progress forward. What do you think is the problem?
Yeah, aba panyaya apa zifa ndo mawan ngaibudise mari so that because coach panyaya right pazvinhu zvese plus ma players ngaasabhadhare ngaasatonyore kuti atambe game kanti awin handika coach uyu aribo but mari ngaibve kuzifa ngairelise mari ngaitsunure mari zvinhu zvifambe bhora riende mberi tikundi.
Yeah, I prefer Logan kuti ava ari coach weZimbabwe because anenge ane idea anoziva zvaanoita in terms yekutsvaga ekuscouta maplayers asiyana nemacoaches macurrent coaches emunomu macoaches edu plus anenge ane kachitsotsi kahori corruption. Logan anenge ane future anofanira kumbosiiwa timboona kuti anosvika kupi but ndine hope naye kuti tinokwanisa kusvika even mumaquarter finals.
Ndingati inokwanisa kuenda kumberi asi panodawo kuti vakomana vabatani vatambe team 1.
Apa ndiona hangu coach ane problem. Coach hatingati anogona tsirekare naniwo but main problem ipa pazifa apa. Zifa ino ndere kuti kwadza. At least takaimprove kuzifa kuzoita nani because vanoda kutonyoresa ma players kuti atambire national team of which hazvisi right. Vanofanira kungobudisa mari dzawo ongoisa mari kusport. Totamba bhora sezvariri kwete zvokuti tonyora mari uzoya kunogara mari yako hazviko kubhora zvezvo hapana kwatiri tichienda.
Well, that is what the selected number of people are saying here in the streets of Harare. Do we have the right coach? Do we have the right squad? And do we have the right technical team to take us further and clinch the ultimate milestone in the African Cup of Nations? Well, the big question is, will we go further? Well, we leave it up to you, Coach Squad.
Thanks a lot, Lance. So yeah, he mentions quite a number of things. Do we have the right coach, the right squad, and even the environment? So let's focus on what these guys were saying. So you have played before. Parikutaranya yekutonyora. Maitonyora ere kuti mutambe ball.
For me, I've never paid anyone to play anywhere. I've never paid any reporter to be a headline in any. I would just score goals for me to be at the back page, and I would. It was
today more is lying.
now
Right. 1 April. Which back page were you in? Which back page?
I remember during my time when I was playing.
Yeah.
There was a time I was actually saying I'm competing with His Excellency President Robert Mugabe. At the front page, I'm at the back page. Every month, every month. But let me get back to your question. No. I want to get back to your question. I'm saying the truth. You can check the error.
No, it's fine.
Okay, we'll go to
It's
the
fine.
library.
Go to the
It's
library
fine.
and check.
We'll come back to that. When we come back, we'll examine Zimbabwe coach Zdravko Logorusic's capability. We'll look at some of the players at our disposal that have been shut out by the coach. We'll also look at the Zimbabwe Football Association's mistakes in the past, and we'll also talk to players and coaches that have Afcon finals experience.
Being a landowner of sort gives you some form of comfort and with the starting point at least. I'm Andrew Sirel, married to one wife, got 3 kids. Never saw myself owning a house. This came as a beautiful surprise.
Well, my parents didn't raise me to live with them forever. So just learning from watching them and other people around me, I'd always hoped that one day I would own my own home.
Partnership that we entered into is to enable positive futures for the population of Zimbabwe, to ensure that we contribute to the housing stock of the country and also reduce the national housing list. People who had never dreamt of owning a house, people who are in the informal sector, we enabled them to put a roof over their heads.
So it feels great to be a homeowner, particularly living in Zimbabwe where things are really difficult. It's great to know that I don't have to worry about the roof over my head. I was excited about when I actually signed the papers and they said, this is your home. Now I'm already thinking, what's next? I would definitely do it again if another opportunity came that worked. So I'd definitely encourage other people to take something like this on.
Welcome back. You're watching The Couch right here on ZTN, where we are discussing what should be done for the Warriors to win the Afcon or at least go beyond the group stages. And remember, today we also have one of the finest groups, music groups in the country, Fusion 5 Mangwiro. You know, I'm very much interested in your fashion sense. Usually you guys are wearing African stuff, and you know, it's a group, my jeans. Do you guys like have a local designer that you work with?
Yeah, we have not one, but many.
Plenty.
Yeah, plenty, yeah, we can say. So, just to mention but a few, K7, we have Jasper, we have Q, the designer, we have Mambo Cards, yeah.
Wow.
Remember I said just to mention a few.
Just to mention a few. But tell me one thing, do you guys like ever fight kuti nasi hayo watuda upeka chero designer izo guys I know, or you know, kind of even, you know, making music decisions since you work as a group, do you ever have those arguments?
Yeah. Yeah, we usually do that. You know, when we have a function and one is taking it serious, you know, there are some other times that I can take it light. You know, this is just the couch. So I just have to go and wear a suit. And then these guys will be saying, yeah, you know, we just have to look different. Let's maintain. So yeah, we always do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me, do you have any, you know, big artists in Zimbabwe that you'd really want to collaborate with?
Before I respond to your question, let me just start by saying I remember when we had the privilege to have a conversation with Dr. Mtukudzi, the first words that he spoke and said to us was, there's no big artist, there's no small artist. So when it comes to Fusion 5 now, whenever we're preparing our music, whenever we are writing down our content, we just look at a certain artist who would fit into the flavor that we're trying to bring out. So we really want to work with so many artists, not mentioning names, but if you're out there and you know you want to collaborate, come, let's collaborate.
Yes, I'm sure they heard that. So what are you going to play for us now?
The next song is a song called Zuva. Zuva, I call it my favorite because it's a song that carries a lot of questions, but at the same time you can be able to respond to the questions whilst you're listening to the song. So, Zuva, hope you enjoy.
Ndaona chieza, ndaona rima, ye. Ndaona rima, ndaona chieza, ndaona rima, ritori rimwe zuva rafura. Ndaona rima, ndaona chieza, ndaona rima, ndaona rima, ndaona chiedza, charapima, 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 zuva hachipure, charapima, charapima, zuva, charapima, charapima, zuva, charapima, zuva, rinombo pepiko, zuva, rinombo pepiko, zuva, rinombo pepiko.
Yeah, amazing music coming from Fusion 5 Manguiro. The guys are still here. We'll talk more about them. Now, back to the topic that we are discussing today. Now, let's focus on the coach, Zdravko Logarosic, who has become the first foreign coach to take the Warriors to the Africa Cup of Nations finals. But no matter how sweet the qualification is, it can also not be ignored that the record in all competitions so far since he took over is one of the worst. Yeah?
Yes, and that has led to some critics to say maybe he just has good assistant coaches on Lloyd Chitemba and Tondera Indiraya that flex muscles when it really matters, or maybe a good crop of players that take matters into their own hands. But that just won't cut it at the Afcon finals now, Marco, would it?
Yeah, I mean, look, if this guy was your child and he goes to school and he brings these results, would you smile? But somehow he qualifies to go to uni. What do you celebrate? Him going to uni and failing to pass? You know, that's where we are.
I think just to put it into perspective, 1 win, 2 draws, and 5 losses.
Yeah. And the sad part is with a media that doesn't take him to town. He has a press conference and is given the freedom of Harare to speak as much as he wants. And suddenly when he says, I've blocked players, there's a lot of giggling. I mean, who is this guy? What gives him the right or even the power to say that he has banned some players for playing for the national team? Who is he? Is he the most successful coach we have ever had? No. If being the national team coach, does he have the right to say he will not call players for national duty? Right. Zimbabwe is bigger than him.
We'll come to that. Actually, that's the next point that we'll discuss. But more, when you look at these results, he gave us an analogy of probably a child who goes to school, and you are the parent or the guardian. They come back home with such a report card. His record so far.
Howard, this is very, very poor. Very, very poor. I have nothing against Loga. And you know, when you mentioned Mafero, that he also got 4 points that contributed to Loga getting the other 4, so that we end up at Afcon, people will say, why are you talking about Mafero and what and what? But I want to say, June 5, we are playing South Africa. I want to give Loga his time. I don't want to judge him with what we have gone through already. Give him the World Cup qualifiers. He's on his own. He's starting on his... I mean, why I'm saying that is because besides all these bad results, nothing has been said about it. Nobody talked about it to say, the authorities that are supposed to talk about, to say, but this is not good. Nobody. So let's give him his own start.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking about him closing the door on some other players. So this is the coach that is vowed to close the door on players that have previously shown lack of commitment, according to him. And some of the players that are said to be affected include South Africa-based left-back Divine Lunga and UK-based striker Macaulay Bourne. We spoke to UK-based football administrator who has been working with Zifa on the issue of these players. That's Marshall Gore.
Macaulay's availability for the national team has been a challenge. There's been a lot of issues surrounding his availability. There were also health issues. I think he had a scan when he signed for QPR from Charlton, and there were some issues, health issues that were picked during that scan, and obviously those issues are a concern to prohibited him from traveling last year with regards to COVID, and it was a bit of a challenge. But I think that there have also been some communication challenges between Macaulay and the coach, but I will not dwell much into it. I think I'll leave the two of them to explain in terms of what actually happened. But we are there to work to see how best we can build the relations and ensure that the differences or whatever might have transpired is resolved, so that at the end of the day people are able to communicate and to ensure that we have a strong team. But obviously the coach has these reservations following the communication they had, the two of them. But that's not for me to actually go into that conversation. I think both of them are mature adults, and they reserve the rights to respond or to tell us exactly what happened.
Well, there you have it, the other side of the story. So far, Divine Lunga has also gone public to explain why he failed to turn up against Botswana and why he played a game for his club during the same period. Those are the politics behind the scenes that may not, after all, add to Zimbabwe's chances in Cameroon. Now, we are saying, do we need Divine and Bona to at least give us a chance to win the Afcon or the progress to the later stages?
So maybe before you guys come in, Marshall was talking about the issue with regards to Macaulay Bonne when he was called. And I spoke to somebody who is in constant touch with him. So he says the player got a text message from some number, but not a Zimbabwean number.
Yeah.
I think Yugoslavia or somewhere there.
Yeah.
And the number was saying, I want you to play in my team. So you need to confirm, are you available to play in my team? So Bon was saying, who is this person who is saying this to me?
Yeah.
So it happened twice. Then the third time, it came as a voice message. And it says, yeah, don't you know that I'm the coach for Zimbabwe? Why are you not responding? Because he was not responding.
Look, Mr. Msons, this Logarusic character is being overzealous. He's crossing so much lines. He needs to be brought to book. And he needs to be told that there are ways of handling business. Why is he, the national team coach, sending a message with a foreign number to a guy he has never talked to? There is Wellington Mpanda. They've got a team manager there. Can you blame the boy? There's so much match fixing going on in this world. And this guy is second tier of the English league. He needs to be careful who he talks to. Have you introduced yourself? No, you haven't. I mean, this Logarosic character is being overzealous. He needs to be brought to book. I think his tail needs to be cut. The first day he came, he talked about us struggling here in Zimbabwe, so many problems. He's here to bring us a smile. I mean, from that day I knew this guy was going to be a problem. And he's turning out to be that way. I mean, he cannot close the door now. We need everybody. We need everybody.
My take would be, the coach, the approach was very, very poor. For Bonne, specifically for Bonne, I don't think it was worth texting him. The Mpandare he's talking about, they've talked to him. I think Mpandare even actually went to see him. And Marshall, even if Marshall would have confirmed, they've talked to him several a time to have him come. What is so special about Macaulay Bonne that we really need to? We've got strikers all over the place. Why do we really need him? As far as I'm concerned, no. So Loga offside. Bonne, even if it doesn't come, it's okay.
And Divine Lunga?
For Divine Lunga, I think that was a mistake by the coach. Do we have a better left back than Lunga at the moment? No. If you see a big club like Mamelodi Sundowns, who are doing so well in Africa and in South Africa, signing up such a player, they know what they are signing. Quality.
Look, for Divine, he also needs to be told he's not bigger than the national team. You are not available, you are injured.
What happened? What happened with Divine?
He said he's injured. But that very weekend he played for Golden Arrows.
Yeah, because the story that I heard is a bit different.
So much for a guy who's injured.
Yeah. But injuries differ.
No. Where did you
play? Your Boozer's teammate Alex Club. You can get injured on Monday and still play at the weekend.
So
it can happen.
It's the same weekend.
Let me tell you something.
This is
Divine Lunga, when he's looking at these two things, Ziffa, Mamelodi Sundowns, where is my life? Where is my bread buttered? Do I go and play for Loga and get 2,000 RTGS, or do I sign for Mamelodi Sundowns and get 250,000 rand a month?
So the injury story was a hoax.
Because
let's just be honest.
Yes.
Divine Lunga
Not
and his
necessarily.
team lied that he was injured.
He was-
when in fact what needed to be done was for him to seal his deal with Mamelodi Sundowns
He was injured
during that period.
He was injured.
All right.
It's on record.
All right, now apart from Macaulay born in the UK, there is Bournemouth fullback Jordan Zemura, Wigan Athletic fullback Tendai Darikwa, and Aston Villa's Marvelous Nakamba, players that are in good books with Zdravko Logarusic.
Well, the other players of interest that can bring real value to this team are Luton Town defender Brendan Galloway, Swansea defender Tiwonge Rushesha, and Reading midfielder Andy Rinomota. The last time Marco and Mo were tough on Goreana, players seeking to be convinced to play for the national team. He explains why such a process has to be taken.
There are a lot of challenges in our quest to convince players to play for Zimbabwe. I think migration is a challenge in itself, that a lot of these players left Zimbabwe either when they were young. Some of them have been born here in the UK, and they've not been to Zimbabwe for a very long time. So again, it's a question of how best do you sell the country to them. The reassurances you give to them will help to obviously convince or help them to make up their mind. For me, the commitment has always been there, but again, there are also other challenges that come